Hey guys, it's Nina.
And Ashley here with the bullshit.
And this is the Young and Gettin It podcast. Episode 1. So we're basically here for the millennial community. You know, there's a lot of things that we didn't learn or that we noticed that our friends didn't learn, and things that you have to learn through experience that you cannot learn in school. So we're going to bring the community to you guys, and we're going to keep it funky, which means we're going to talk shit. Basically.
Yep. And we might say some things you don't agree with, but that's fine. That's what opinions are for. And I feel like to listen to this podcast, you have to understand the difference between an opinion and a fact.
Exactly. So. And we might say things that aren't true, but that's okay because you're the community.
Fact check.
Yeah, fact check does.
Fact check. Don't believe everything you hear.
Okay. And if you do get to that point, you know, we do have an email. Our email is Nina. I'm tripping.
Ashley and Nina pod at gmail.com since somebody doesn't remember.
I'm thinking about myself. That's why. Ashley and Nina pod, P-O-D, at gmail.com. And it'll be in the description. So we want to hear from you guys. We will shout you out. If you want to be anonymous, be anonymous. We're good with all of it.
Yep.
So we wanted to start with a background of ourselves, basically, so you guys know where we're coming from and why we decided to make this podcast in the first place. We noticed that, you know, we had friends and we had associates and people that we met that did really well. And we're like, oh my God, how'd you do that? And people who are struggling and it's like they have the potential, or people who are struggling and they never had the support system to even teach them in the first place.
Or they're just lazy.
Yeah. And everybody knows that lazy person, but you know, we're not going to talk about that. Yeah. Because we love all of you.
But we'll help you out. Like if you're lazy, ask.
God's working on all of us.
Because I feel like the most successful people kind of are lazy. Like,
yeah.
Because I know myself, I'm lazy. And so I'll do stuff ahead of time so I don't have to do it later.
That's very true.
Just because I know for a fact I'm not going to feel like it.
Exactly. So basically, this is Nina speaking. You'll get to know our voices, you know, Nina versus Ashley. Okay.
I hate my voice.
I know, we probably sound all crazy. Do I sound like a gremlin, guys?
Like a cave monster.
I sound like, what did I say? I sound like a nerd or something like that.
Yeah.
I probably do sound like a nerd. Hi. But okay, so basically, my whole life, I just knew I wanted to be rich, right? So I knew that I was a lazy human being, but I knew that I had the brains enough to like get somewhere. And so I remember being like, Daddy, I want to be a dentist. Like, there's nothing about dentistry that interests me, but I found out that dentists make a lot of money. And I found out that it's harder to get into dentistry school than medical school, so I kind of correlated that to money also. And then I got older and I was like, Daddy, I want to be a doctor. And that was closer to the end of high school. So my dad was like, oh, well, you know, take pre-med. And so we applied to schools. And I got into Cal State Fullerton. I ended up going there for biochemistry because they don't have pre-med. Biochemistry is the same thing, basically.
Yeah,
it's
you
like,
take all the prereq courses.
Yeah, it's basically all the same thing.
Dumbass courses that you don't remember.
Exactly. You know, very pointless. And it took me 5 years instead of 4 just because my major was so not impacted, but the coursework was so heavy that they told us, like, you will not graduate in 4 years. It will take you 5. And I still tried to finish it 4. And then at the third and a half, I was like, Daddy,
let's just slow this down.
I'm going to take another year and a half and we're just going to, financial aid is going to rape me and okay.
Hey,
and so
you're gonna have that no matter what.
Definitely struggled through biochemistry. That was hard as shit. And people will obviously be like, oh my God, you must be smart. No, that I studied because I went to tutoring. I went to office hours. I went to tutoring so much. And that's a side note. I found out that people think that tutoring is only for like not smart people. So some people won't go to tutoring for that, but no, it's because it's fucking hard. It's college.
And I feel like smarter people try and understand stuff better. Like,
yeah, because
for certain people, it's like they get to this point, they get stuck. They're like, I don't understand it, and they give up. But smart people try and work through that problem to figure it out because they can't. I guess they can't live with. Exactly. I don't know, and like that's how I am. So, like sometimes when I see stuff and it looks like an interesting article to read. Sorry, guys. Side note, but if it looks like it's something that's interesting to read and I don't read it, I'm like, fuck, like. Am I ever going to see this piece of information again? Like, if I don't read this now, I'm not going to be able to read it later. And I'm never going to know what it said. And that's a piece of knowledge that I'm missing out on.
Those are traits of a successful person.
Yeah, and, like, I think about that. So I'm like, hey, it may hurt to do this right now, but I'm going to make that sacrifice so that I could know about this knowledge that I could potentially lose out on because I'm being lazy.
Yeah. And that seems like, for a lot of people, I can imagine people hearing that and being like, that's so extra, but it's like
extra what gets the job done.
And I'm like, I mean, I don't make as much money as I want to make, but the amount of money I'm making changed my life. So I'm gonna just keep on going. That's how it is. Like, we struggle through school and it makes us annoyed and depressed and angry and happy and sad, but our paycheck,
at the end of the day, that check speaks volumes.
That bag is
after the bag.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my bag. But yeah, so that's how it was. It's like I had to go to screening. Biochemistry was horrible. I remember crying multiple times. Like, it was terrible. So I graduated after 5 years, and then like I really hated working in a laboratory just because like it was always academic based, so I wasn't getting paid, and they were asking me to do a lot of work when I had other shit to do. So I waitressed for 2 years. So I waitressed at El Torito, and then I waitressed at BJ's. And if you're from SoCal and probably other places, you probably know what that is. And so my dad was just like, I mean, you have your bachelor's in biochemistry. If you want to make more money, just go work at a lab. And so I applied. I didn't really apply that much, but then a recruiting agency hit me up and was
That's
like,
where the love comes in.
Yeah, it was like a recruiting agency hit me up, and I looked at my phone like, who is this? And when they were talking to me, I still wasn't interested because they said it was a laboratory, and I was like, how much are they paying? And they were like, it's going to be $21.50 an hour. I said, oh,
well, all right then. So... I guess I can do it. Money talks.
I said, yeah, let's get that interview going. So I went to the interview, and I was like, I don't know. It's just like I didn't think that I would get the job, basically. Because my phone interview, he asked me a lot of questions I didn't know, so I was positive they weren't going to call me back. Then they called me back. Yeah, and then I did the research necessary that I should have known for the first interview. Went to the group interview, and 4 hours after the interview, they called me and told me I got the job.
That's a beautiful thing.
Man. And so basically I worked in, it's biochemistry, but we were basically... improving a machine to basically tell you everything that you're allergic to. So we would use blood serum. Yeah, and we would use, I know Ashley is allergic to everything. Like, there's things that I cannot eat with her, and I just
pretty sad. I feel bad for people that hang out with me on a regular basis.
Like,
and
food is
go
life.
Eat.
Like, she can't eat sushi, guys.
No.
She can't eat sushi. Do you understand what I'm saying to you right now?
Like, I can't ever have lobster, guys.
Oh, Jesus, praise. Oh.
I can't have no lobster. I can't have caviar. I can't have calamari.
Jeez. Ooh.
I can't have anything.
Jesus. Those are God-made food. Like, that came from the earth. That's the closest to vegan that's not vegan. Like, that came from the earth. Like, there's some nuts she can't eat. Like
I can only eat peanuts. I can't eat cashews.
Those are bomb. I mean, and y'all know how bomb cashews are. Like, yeah, almonds are nasty. And y'all, some people are going to be like, no, almonds are good. No. They squeak.
I mean, they look nasty. They look dry as fuck.
They're dry as fuck. They're dry as fuck. And the fucking I hate if you bite it a certain way, the shit will squeak. I don't like that. Don't be, the skin squeaks on your tooth. People know what I'm talking about. That shit is so nasty, but cashews are so fucking bomb. Like, cashews are the shit. But I mean, peanuts are fatty. And the thing about peanuts is if you eat a lot, you're still fucking up. So whatever, like, fuck them. But fish is life. Fish is life. But yeah. So basically, the lab would tell you everything you're allergic to, and we were just optimizing that instrument. It was really cool, just because the biochemistry that we were using. I got that job basically because when I was in college, I worked in like an iron and copper lab. So we would actually produce like fake breast cells, but they acted like real breast cells, and we would give them all the hormones that would happen like when you're pregnant. So like estrogen, progesterone, like insulin, beta estradiol, like everything that would make breast cells actually produce milk. So we basically produced milk, even though it wasn't. It was just like a medium that was very similar to milk, and I was able to actually track like what proteins were carrying iron, which was really cool. And I actually identified like a really small, it's called a polypeptide, that means a small protein that was carrying iron. But I graduated at that point.
Those words in so long.
I know, right? But we graduated, so my project got passed on to somebody else. But yeah, so I worked in that laboratory, and then it was working. Okay, this was the beginning of me being like, wow, working 9 to 5 sucks. Working, you're working 40 hours of your week.
That's just too much.
That's not even travel time.
That's just too much.
That's not even shower time, getting up time, breakfast time, driving home time,
getting prepped for work the next day time.
Oh my God. 40
like,
hours
this
a week.
shit is a scam. How you gonna tell me I have to fucking work 40 hours a week?
It is a scam. It's a scam. Like, there's a way around it. There's a reason why, like, people don't work 40 hours a week. So, at the end of the day, like, even though I'm not at the end of my story, like, my ultimate goal is to work less hours for more money. So, everything, maybe you'll notice everything I talk about when it comes to improving myself and improving other people's is going to be working less, making more.
Time management. Money management.
You want to be there for, I mean, a lot of people do want to be there to watch their kids grow. A lot of people want to be there to go on trips with their families and spend time with their husbands and, you know, just spend time with the people they care about. No one wants to spend half of their freaking life at home. Because mind you, you're spending a third of your life sleeping. And then it's like another half is gone at work. And so
you have like 25% for you.
Yeah.
The fuck? No, I did not start living for that.
Yeah. And like the company I worked for, the protein allergen company, was really cool, but there was just some things that happened there. Like my boss like was kind of a bitch, you know, and I really didn't like her. Like I would use the word cunt, but y'all gonna get offended, man. Fuck that word, man. That word don't even mean that much. But like she was like she made my booty itch. Like oh my god, like
terrible.
She made my booty itch. Like I couldn't stand her. And so the company actually, the product they were making like was not working. Like it really wasn't working. And as of right now, it's actually still not working because I checked up. Like, and it was supposed to be released last month. It's still not working. And so they actually had to do budget cuts. And now that I know more about finance, it's like I see what happened. So since I was one of the newest people, like I was like, can I go before y'all let me go? Because y'all finna let me go. And they're laying people off. So y'all probably know the unemployment system. Like if you get laid off, you can get unemployment. I was sick of working. My unemployment check was actually low-key about to be lit. So I said, okay, peace. So right after I left that place, I called the same recruitment agency, told them, oh, I'm having them lay me off, blah, 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 blah. And they got the call from them too, so it worked out perfectly. And then they're like, well, you want to work, right? And I was like, yeah, but let's try to, you know, I didn't like what I just did. And he literally 2 days after I left was like, hey, do you want to be a manager? And I was like, yeah. I mean, I don't think I'm qualified, but great, yeah. So I interviewed at a hospital a week later to be a manager of a lab, and then like it took them 2 months to tell me, but I got the job. And that whole time I probably still applied to over 100 places just because I just wanted, and I was applying for higher positions just because I want to make more money right now. Like where I am right now is not where I want to end up, but I know that there's steps to get to where you want to be. So right now, I'm a manager of a cancer research laboratory, but we're just starting. So
saying it like it's nothing, but
continue. I mean, we're just starting. So it's like I'm just building the lab. I don't have any scientists yet. One of my friends just got a call for a scientist, but she just got a job somewhere else. I think as a manager too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know, right? Shit. So it's like they have huge projects like. They threw the amount of money. They threw. I just hit the desk. That's gonna sound like shit, but deal with it. So
one of us is gonna do it.
I know, like they threw a ton of money at my company, so they hired me, and they're gonna hire a shit ton more people. That's where I am now. Plus, while all this was happening, I found out that I got into Pepperdine, so I'm getting my master's in finance right now. You know. It's all about the shmoney. So now that I'm gonna understand the shmoney,
like I feel like that's the best masters to have.
Yeah, no one's gonna play me out of a contract. Yeah, like
next to computer science.
Yo,
that's not going nowhere.
That's not good. That's bread.
Going nowhere.
That's bread. Like, I just want to know about the money so I don't get gypped out of contracts, and so I can raise my money as much as possible. Also, I want to invest in shit. So, you guys, that's my background. That's where I'm coming from. Like, I'm not where I want to be right now. I'm just doing what I can to not be broke. You know, we have to save money. You know, there's a lot of shit we need to do. I just got a car this year, and like we need to buy a house in a couple of years. So it's like it's save money time. But I'll keep telling you guys my progress because I'm going to keep hustling up. My goal is to continue to move up the ladder, and I am a black woman, so I'm aware that they're going to try to pay me less, and I'm aware that they're going to try to choose the white man before they choose me. That's how right now. Yeah, it's like that's the truth. We're going to live in reality over here, and I know that the people who are woke will understand exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. But we're going to move up, and we're going to try to help you guys move up too, you know, and please help us too. If there's some shit that we don't know, tell us.
Game,
tell
please.
me, nigga.
I really love learning stuff.
Help me, nigga. Help me.
Nigga, I'm broke. That's like my favorite part of a movie because it's so relatable. Like, nigga, I'm broke.
Nigga, I'm broke. But yeah, that's all about me. I'll let Ashley, you know, throw in her shit.
Okay, so when I was younger, I wanted to be an astronaut. That was like my thing. That was my jam. Like I went to space camp. I had all these like space shuttle like little souvenirs like where you could build space shuttles and shit. And like I just knew I was gonna be an astronaut until I kept seeing them motherfuckers blow up. And when those motherfuckers was blowing up, I was like, okay, yeah, not it's not safe enough for me to partake in these type of activities. So I changed my mind. Like I was still fascinated with space, but I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And it wasn't until I got to high school and I found out my grandmother was getting the beginning stages of Alzheimer's. So I was like, oh, let me be a doctor. Like I can help her. Okay, guys, realistically, Alzheimer's moves way too fucking fast. Like, there was, like, Alzheimer's, what the fuck? I don't care. Everybody in the world says it wrong. Including people. Yeah, like, including people in the hospital. Because I work in a hospital now, and nobody says anything right. We have nicknames for everything. Like, we even call ketamine Special K. Like, there's we don't say real names. We say it how we feel.
Drug name. That's a street name.
We really do. And, like, the anesthesiologist, they'll be like, hey, Ash, you want me to give you some Special K? I was like, yes, I love Special K. Hook me up. Like, God. So if that was taken in the wrong context, somebody would be like, oh, this bitch is a drug addict. Like, but no, we always say it wrong. So we found out she was getting that Alzheimer's, dementia, whatever. And so, like, that shit moves very fast. It's very progressive. But, you know, I was young, I was dumb, and I was like, oh, I could definitely help her. So when I got to college, I majored in neuroscience. I don't want to say, like, it was the worst decision of my life, but it was a pretty, like, shitty decision because, like, that shit was hard. Like, neuroscience is on, like, a whole different level of hard. And my major, just like Nina's, was a 5-year major. But I took summer school every single summer.
That was shitty.
It sucked ass. Like, because the courses went very fast. Mm-hmm. And then, like, yeah, I was on quarter system because I only got into UC Riverside. I applied to all these other schools, had these big old dreams, like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go to Stanford. Shut that down real quick because you can't even appeal the decision. They're like, no, our decision is final. We said, you not coming, fam. You not coming. If you want to come, like, apply for a different term because this one you're not gonna be there. So I was like, nah, they're gonna pick me, fam. Got that denial letter real quick. Got that denial letter from NYU. Got that denial letter from USC. Like, I got denied to every school except for UCR. A bitch was pissed. Like, I didn't even want to go to college anymore. I was just like, fuck it. Like, I'll go to the Army like a dumbass. I will never fucking go to the Army. No. Try and draft my ass, send me to jail.
I got asthma.
Because I'm not going.
I got asthma.
It's not. I will purposely get pregnant so I don't have
I'm a
to
transvestite.
Go. Like,
remember, didn't they say they can't? I got a dick.
I'm a man. I got a dick. Because I will never in my life serve for this country. Man, sorry.
Don't try me.
Like, I'm not the one. My dad did it. Kudos to him, but I am not the one.
Okay.
So I was pissed I only got into UCR. But then it turned out like being really well. Like, I met my boyfriend for one, my boo thing, and then, like, that's not the most important part, but, like, like, he important, but that's not the most important part. I also met, like, a lot of other, like, I connected with, like, a lot of other Black intellectuals that had the passion for being successful, and so, like, it was great to be able to surround yourself by that, because UC Riverside had the, like, highest African-American population of all
ton of Nigerians, too.
Nigerian Central.
I ended up at what? Oop, let me not say something racist. My school was 2.4% Black, so.
I think mine was, like, 14.
It was huge.
Yeah, it wasn't an HBCU, but I don't see myself being able to attend one of those. Yeah. I don't know. I know it's fun, but it's, like, when I got into college, I was easily distracted, and I feel like that would have been more of a distraction to go to a HBCU and be surrounded by Black people.
All that weed with all them Black people.
Right? Because, man, my freshman year, I don't know how I survived.
I went to her school so many times and got my brains blown out by some. I remember when I smoked Blue Dream with y'all the first time. I will never forget that.
Oh, no, I was fucked up, too. I couldn't even stand up. Like, you guys, it was bad.
I was spaced. Like, I was, like, remember that was back when I used to hallucinate. I was, like, half hallucinating.
I think I hallucinated, like, one time, and I was like, oh, my God, like,
weed.
That's not the way.
Okay.
But, yeah, like, I was very easily influenced my freshman years, but I still didn't let it, like, get me off track. Finished in 4, almost died, cried. Like, it was just so depressing, like, because it was so hard. I feel like the hardest course I took was neuroanatomy. That was, like, the worst decision I've ever made, but I made it through with a C. shout out to whoever the doctor was, because he made the final exam, exactly like his little study guide. And everybody came out the exam like, oh my god, it was so hard. And I was like, y'all, it was exactly his study guide. I was like, I only studied what he said to study, and it was literally the exam. Yeah. Like, if you studied everything, I'm sorry, you wasted your time, fam. Like, you should have listened to the teacher. I'm getting off track. But, yeah, so I went to UCR, I graduated, and, like, by the time I graduated, I was like, yeah, I'm over school. Yeah. I do not want to be a doctor. Yeah. Like, but I want it to be definite. Like, let me just make sure I'm making that decision not to be a doctor. Not because I'm being lazy, but because it's something that, like, I really don't want to do. And, like, that kind of leads to how I have the job that I have now. But before becoming a neurophysiologist,
did y'all know how to pronounce that?
You know how to spell it?
Say it back.
So before becoming a neurophysiologist, I was a what the fuck did I do? I was a caregiver. That shit sucked.
Oh, hell no. God bless you.
Yeah, in-home caregiver.
God bless.
Then I was a paraeducator, basically like a TA for a classroom with children with autism. I did that for the longest because for that one, I called in every day and decided when I wanted to work. So, like, that one was a little bit better. Like, I didn't have to deal with nasty-ass kids every day. I'm sorry, kids are gross. Yeah, they're fucking nasty. And it's even worse when, like, they have autism or something else. Like, it's just the facts. They do nasty stuff.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, they do nasty things.
Oh, shit.
So, like, that's pretty bad. But, I just was sick of that, and then my dumbass got a job as an ABA therapist, applied behavior analysis or some shit for children with autism, and I had to go into their house and do therapy for them in their house. That was terrible. I got bit. I had chunks of my hair get pulled out. Yep. I got scratched. One of the little motherfuckers fucked up my knee. Like, it was horrible.
Were some of their houses fucked up too?
Jesus. Yes. Some of their houses was nasty.
Damn.
And so, like, that was just terrible. Like, I hated that job. And I remember telling myself, when you use up all your sick time for this job, you're quitting. No matter what. Like, even if you don't have another job lined up, you're quitting. And so it just so happened, like, I got this random ass email asking if I wanted to do this neurophysiology thing. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, I don't know what this is. Like, I've never heard of this before in my life. And it was a different company than the one that I got hired for. And so I looked at it and I was like, I guess I'm interested or whatever. And so I told the HR, whoever had contacted me, I was interested. Never heard anything back. And then the next thing I know, I got contacted by the company I got hired by now. And they were like, yeah, do you want to interview for this position? Yada, yada. I was like, yeah, like, why not? So I had 4 interviews for this job. The longest interview process I've ever had in my life. And I feel like the interview process is so long. It's because the turnover rate is very high. And now after getting into it and doing it for a while, I understand. So it's like after I fucking hate my job, but I still do it right.
God bless.
So after I used my last sick hours as an ABA therapist, I found out I got the job, and I was like, oh yes, perfect timing. And so I'm petty, y'all. So my manager for the ABA job, I remember she would always ask me how my day was going. I would tell her bad because I fucking hated the job. Like, maybe you'll stop asking me because you'll realize, like, I don't have a good day because I'm working this job. But she always asked me. And so one day she's like, you know what, Ashley? One day you're just going to have a really good day and it's just going to be so amazing. I'm going to be so excited for you. And I was like, okay, I'm counting on it. So when I found out I got this job, I called her right away. I got off the job with Jason, my regional manager, and after I got off the phone with him, I called her, and, like, I had accepted the job. I called her. I was like, hey, whatever. I'm not going to say her name. I was like, do you remember how you were telling me that one day I was just going to have, like, a really good day and you're going to be so happy for me? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, well, today is that day. I was like, my day is going great. I was like, but it's really good news for me. It's just not good news for y'all. I was like, so I got offered another position. And remember, I already had told you I was interviewing. And if something came along that was better, I would take it. And so I told her, I was like, yeah. I was like, so I'm not coming to work today. or the rest of the week. And I was like, when can I turn in my stuff? Like, I just straight up hit her like that. And I know she was so pissed. But I was so happy because I really fucking hated that job. Like, it took everything in my soul to attend that job every day. So when I got this job, I was happy. Now, my current job is a neurophysiologist. Main reason I was happy because there was a pay raise. So I was salary for one, got benefits, got all that whole shebang. Everything you need to be an adult, right?
Yeah.
401k, all that.
401k is everything,
yeah.
y'all.
So I got the job on a Wednesday and had to leave the following Monday for 3 months training in Detroit. So I had to pack my whole life away and go train in Detroit for 3-4 months. I think I was gone for a long ass time. I was gone for a long time in Detroit, fucking by myself. Don't know nobody out there but like one fucking person. Like, so I would literally just work every day and then go back to my long-term hotel. Like, my boyfriend only came to see me once. It was tragic. Like, that shit was a test. Like,
you guys made it.
Yeah, it was hard, but like we did it. And then like I came back here now, and like I'm over it. I like, because the schedule is not regular. Like, you could work at 7 a.m. one day and then work at fucking 5 p.m. the next day. Like, it's real fucking trash.
And mind you guys, she's in the surgeon's room, so she's smelling. She's
in the
smelling
operating room.
Burning skin.
Yeah.
And seeing it being cut open. You know, I don't like that
There's
shit.
like giblets on the floor. Because I remember Nina was asking me, oh, have you ever wore your Prestos to work? I said, bitch, no. I was like, I walk in blood and body parts. There's no way I'm wearing those to work. Like, that's never going to happen. So I sit in a cold ass room all day and look at people's signals from like their spinal cord and their brain and shit. It was very interesting to start, but now it's like I do spine surgeries 90% of the time, and then maybe like 10% of the time I see something else, and it's just like becomes so routine and boring to me. But don't get me wrong, I still do my job correctly.
Yes,
that's one thing. Like, no matter how much I hate a job, I still make sure that I do it correctly.
The doctors love her.
Yeah.
And her boss.
Yeah. And people, like, surgeons will request me to come work with them.
That's lit. And they wrote her letter of rec.
Yup. I got 3 doctors to write me letters of rec because I just applied to USC. They're playing with my emotions. You know, niggas is losing hope, but we're not going to say all hope is lost. So we'll see what happens, because I still got into another online school that, like, anybody could get into, and I did that for a reason because I know I needed that. Mm-hmm. So we'll see how this shit plays out. Hopefully I can go to USC, because that would be lit for my resume, because I want to go back for a master's in computer science, because I feel like if I have a master's in computer science, I can work anywhere. I'm not so limited to doing hospital related work or lab related work like I am with just having a bachelor's in neuroscience.
And there's something to say about the fact that, like, both of us used our major, took the career path of our major, you know, worked it, you know, still working it. But as you can tell, both of us know that we're not going to be here forever. Like, why be stagnant when you can move up?
Exactly.
And there's different little things that you can do to move up. You know, we want money for the rest of our generations. You know, we want to make money for our kids to be able to make a ton of money, and honestly, I want to make enough money so I can take care of my parents. Like, I really want to be able to pay my parents' bills, like, because there is a certain age, and I guess we've hit that age where we actually don't want to see our parents working anymore. And I'm definitely at that age.
I don't even want to see myself working.
Okay.
So I definitely don't want to see my parents working.
So we're here. I mean, we're not using this podcast to be like, this is gonna build the empire for us. But we've had great mentors over our lives, from our parents to people at school to teachers that aren't dickheads. You know, so it's like we know that we have some things that we can impart, but we know that people that are listening have things that they can actually teach us, things that we're going to be like, you know what?
Ears.
Thank you so much for telling us. Like, that's why we tell you to email Ashley and Nina pod@gmail.com, because we want you to impart knowledge on us, and we want to learn from you guys, and we will shout you out because you are improving the community. This is, in some way, I mean, I look at it as like
Issa Rae.
Man,
rooting for everybody black.
Okay.
And fuck you if you don't fuck with me. So
yeah, fuck you if you don't care about the Black Lives
feel.
Matter. And if you think Black Lives Matter is fucking the KKK, please press pause.
Sit down somewhere
and close this app
Sit down,
right now.
read a book, go on Google, find a definition of what it is, and figure your life out.
Yeah, just get it all the way together. Like, there are, just like the KKK, there's stupid people who do stupid things. In Black Lives Matter, yes, there are stupid people who do stupid things. That does not represent the whole group. for people who think that. No, we just want to be treated equally. Like, please.
Just like treat me how you would treat a white person.
And honestly, that just ties into the topic that I wanted to talk about today too, because it's like the Las Vegas shooting like shook us. Like a lot of things have shaken us in our lives. We've lost like loved ones and stuff like that. But to see someone spray a crowd in a city that we've been to like, a million times. Me and Ashley are neighbors back home. So it's like we live 2 hours and 50 minutes away from Las Vegas to where we can go to Las Vegas whenever we want to go. Like, and we're girls, and like, I'm sorry guys, but Vegas is free.
Having it popping out there.
Like, Vegas is free as fuck for girls. Yeah. So it's like, we bring the bread because I'm trying to gamble. We're trying to do what the fuck we want still. We trying to eat. Like, we never went to Nobu, but Ashley's allergic. I can't eat that. Ashley's allergic to Nobu. Yep. So it's like we still want to buy our own food and stuff. But it's like Vegas is free for us, so it's very easy for us to go down there. And it's like just looking at, even though it was a country music festival, it's like looking at and being like, wow. First of all, a ton of people who died lived around us, lived in Riverside, lived in San Bernardino. For people who don't know this area, we live in the Inland Empire. We're from Fontana. Surrounding cities are like Riverside, San Bernardino, Val, Rialto, Rancho Cucamonga, like stuff like that. And it was sad how many people were from the Riverside County, San Bernardino County, because we live so close to Vegas. So it really came close to home, like, wow. Like,
and the last time we were in Vegas, we stayed in Mandalay.
Yeah, she told me that earlier today, and I was like, man, we did stay in the Mandalay. But like, we stayed in that hotel the last time we went to Vegas.
And we went to Vegas, what, like a month or two ago?
How long ago was that? It was the last week of July.
Okay.
Yeah, 2017.
Like a few months ago.
Yeah, we just went there, and it's like, if you guys have been seeing, like, they're now calling that shooter the lone wolf, but I hope people can open their eyes to realize that if that was a black person...
Why do white people get nicknames?
What?
Why do white people get nicknames?
That's
all I want to know.
Why is he the lone wolf? He's a mass murderer.
That's what it should be called. It should be like a white thug or white redneck, if we want to get race specific. Let me say it right. First of all, race specific. Why isn't he called like a redneck? Redneck murderer or some shit. Like, he gets the cool ass sounding nickname of the lone wolf. Like, it sounds like the Punisher. It's like they're making it seem appealing for him to have done what he did.
It's just like, if a black man did that exact same thing, had 20-something guns there, had 30-something guns in his house, like the lone wolf did, they wouldn't be saying the same thing about this dude. And I
don't even know this nigga's real name. Like, that's just fucking...
Fuck this nigga. Fuck his name. We also, like, we're both religious people, spiritual people. And it's like...
I just don't like church.
Yeah, I don't like organized religion because look what's going on.
A lot of people are hypocrites.
Yeah, so it's just like, I ain't got time. I mean, I do have time, but I don't got time for the fakeness. Yeah. And it's like, that ties into, I remember I was listening to the Brilliant Idiots podcast, and they had Tariq Nasheed on there. And he was very pro-black, and, he was a theorist. What do they call it? Theorist?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a theorist.
Let us know if we're wrong at ashleyandninapod@gmail.com.
Yeah, right? Let's shout it out. But yeah, so he basically said this thing called white sacrifice, and I never heard of that before, and I really started to listen. I was like, white sacrifice? And he was saying, since black people are being targeted, these people who want to kind of cover that up sacrifice white lives to make it be like, hey, look, a ton of white people died, and it was at the hands of a white person. Like, oh, it's not just black people, we white people are crazy too, so that we can't be like, it's only black people that are dying. So it's like, I'm not saying I 100% believe in that, but I like to listen to theories, and that is a very consistent theory that a white man shot up a country music festival. Like, it's country, and let's be realistic, it's white cultures, because I know there's like what they call white Mexicans, or white different, not white Caucasians, but white other things, and it's like they targeted a white audience. It's like, it's just crazy to see.
Thank God white people took country from us, because it could have been a lot of us.
I mean, black.
I know that's a fucked up thing to say, but I mean, they did steal country music from us.
I didn't know that.
They stole like every type of music from us.
Oh.
Rock, country.
Oh.
Yeah.
And that's why rock fell out.
Because what's that guy's name? It's like, let me look it up. Continue.
But yeah, it's like, it's very hard. It hurts my heart to think about how many people were affected. because not only did 58 people die, but over 500 people got shot. Yes, it was over 500 people that got shot. So, and you don't know those 500 people that got shot, who's in critical condition, who's okay, who's in between,
who might pass.
So for all those 58 people that died, 58 families got affected. Extend that out to extended families, and extend that out to friends. Imagine how many people got affected. That, to me, is the work of the devil. I don't think that people with mental illness have the devil in them. No, that's stupid. No, mental illness, it's just mental illness. But I do believe that with a weak mind, the devil will manifest himself in whoever. That's why there's people without mental illness that do crazy things. There's people with mental illness that do crazy things. And obviously they're going to say, oh, this guy probably had a mental issue, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no. He let himself get manifested by the devil. That's the devil's work, to put that type of terror. And it's domestic terrorism. Like, you guys are here killing your own people, and they didn't do anything to you. So it's kind of sickening, and it's at the point where I've always been neutral on gun laws, because I always think about the chance that someone can walk into your house and just shoot you. Because I am one of my friend's dad, that's actually happened to him. Someone came in his house and shot him in the head, and that was it. What? So it's like, there's people who have saved their lives because they had a gun in the house. So I get it, but it's like, you guys, how many people have to die? These kids are getting guns and shooting up schools. Like, come on.
Yeah, the fact that there's been shootings at schools, I feel like that's where the line should have been drawn. Like,
yeah, like, I know y'all want your guns, but come on. Y'all don't care about these lives, and obviously Donald Trump doesn't care about nobody's lives.
Because I saw this, like, there was a post on Tumblr, I'm on Tumblr, guys, and it was talking about, like, it's like after, I don't remember who said it, and this is terrible that I don't, but it was like, after the Sandy Hook incident, I realized that, like, basically, like, gun control did not matter in this country. Because the fact that you could let little kids get killed and still not change gun control laws shows that there's a problem. Like,
yeah, and it's like, you see all this unending spending on war. Do you ever see them say, oh, we can't pay for this for war. We can't, no, we can't. We're gonna have to cut war. Do they ever do that?
No.
But y'all got student loans, right? Ain't nobody helping you over there. I got my student loans are gonna be dumb.
Schools don't have funding. Like, some schools, like, especially like in Chicago and shit, and like how Chance the Rapper is trying to give money to those schools because the situations are so fucked up there. Like, the fact that a rapper has to step up and give money to schools is, like, fucking terrible.
That sucks.
Like, I'm glad that he is able to do it, but the government is what is in charge of schools and their funding, and like local states, like what people vote on and the propositions and things like that. But it's like, I don't feel like there should be a vote to decide that schools should be well funded. Like, school, like, especially since children are the future, I just feel like all schools should be well funded.
Right.
And it shouldn't be up for debate. It shouldn't be up for a vote or anything like that, because you have to give equal opportunity to everybody, and equal opportunity is not given to everybody, because in those poorer communities, people are like, well, we need other things than, like, school. Like, if we don't have the funding from the government, like, and we have to allocate this certain amount of money to multiple things, what, like, and other things are more important.
And we're 25 and we're young, and it's like, wow, look at how many people we've met now that have not gone back to school or have not gone to school because of, they're like, oh, financial aid is too much, oh, I can't do it. It's like, dang, people aren't not going to, there's people not going to school because, like, they hate school. Yeah, I get it. But there's people not going to school because they don't want to pay for it. And it's like, I look and I'm like, yeah, my student loans are going to be dumb too, which means this job that I have, they either need to give me a raise once I graduate, or I need to find somewhere else. That's just the reality of things. Like, and we live in California. Like, we have some of the most expensive rent. I know New York is way worse, but it's like, we have expensive rent. It's just, it's sad to see how the government is doing things, and we have a Republican president, and so he's self-serving, and like he's just gonna do whatever these white nationalists want.
Yeah, especially when we have the president saying that some other people in the KKK are good people.
Oh my God, Jesus.
There's some good people out there.
It's like, do you guys pay attention to the way he did his campaign? He targeted areas of poverty in white communities. He targeted areas of low education in white communities. I was just gonna say, we're dumbass motherfuckers. If y'all look at the stats for the voting, it was like 80% of people that voted for Hillary had a college education, and 20% of people with a college education voted for Trump. What does that tell you?
Strategic.
It was strategic. And when you guys see him at those press conferences where everyone's like, yeah, Trump, it's because he's he's in the middle of fuck nowhere. He's in White Town, USA.
He's where he
KKK USA.
Like, I get you're supposed to go where you have supporters, but it depends on the, like, type of people that are your
Come
supporters.
to LA.
And it's like the fact that we let him get away with this bullshit, I just cannot understand.
I'm tired. Like, my dad literally couldn't sleep for a week because he was like, fuck. I didn't even think this was possible. Like, it really fucked him up. Like, he was like, I'm troubled. Because that shows a really bad sign for the country that we're in. Like, you guys remember that in the 50s, the United States wasn't the powerful country, right? It was the 50s. I think it was 50s where we converted over. It was like it was in the 20th century, which is the 1900, guys. I had to learn that in school.
Yeah, it's always one century.
It's always the following.
Ahead. Like, it's always ahead. When you say the 21st century, that's right now.
That's right now. We're in the
20th century was 1999.
And there was some point where the U.S. wasn't even in power. Like, we haven't been in power for a century. So it's like, you guys realize we can lose power again. And with the debt that we have, also, we don't know the debt that other countries have, so we might be good. But, like... I know
the fact that Trump is, like, basically threatening
He's playing with Korea, and it's not cool because you're playing with my life because you don't care. Because if something happens, they're going to ship you out and you're going to be straight. Yeah. But I'm sitting here living my good life, and I'm trying to help everybody, like, and we're just trying to be good people, and you're sitting here trying to get us blown up,
trying to have people die for
you running your fucking mouth. Get the fuck off of Twitter, you old ass man. Like, I'm so sick of his punk ass
on Twitter.
I
wish my daddy would be on Twitter.
See how
I'm mad. I feel like, Dad,
get the fuck off. See how angry I'm getting talking about this nigga. I'm like, nigga, you're a fuck nigga. Like, fuck Donald Trump. That's what YG was not playing. Like,
nah, he wasn't.
Like,
he been saying that shit.
Man, like, this nigga is trifling. You don't give a fuck about us. Like, but so yeah, if you guys, I know I was like, I'm sick of this nigga, but you know, I mean, it all ties in. So guys, I'm going to interrupt the show really quick to talk about a small black business. You know, to be specific, it's a small Nigerian business. And it's not really small anymore. The shit is blowing up. I'm talking about Minogu Designs. Minogu Designs was created by a Nigerian American girl named Uchechi Emenogo. And she, you know, you guys have seen the Nigerian prints on the runway. You've seen it getting hotter. And it's due to people like this who have made Nigerian prints really hot. She's worldwide. And for what she does, handcrafted, the prices are amazing. So if you want to get yourself some fresh, you know, Nigerian attire or just Afro-ethnic attire, you know, when you go to those Afro events and you want to look fresh as fuck, if you want to lace up your Nigerian party or just look like a chief in the village, get you some Minogu Designs. To support her designs or get some designs of your own for your special event, go to www.minogudesigns.com. That is www.menogudesigns.com, and we'll link that in the bio. And the media really does bother me because, as you guys have seen, the media has now taken control of everything. If we didn't have the media the way we have now, Hillary would probably be president right now. But the media actually pushed Donald Trump into the presidency, and that's how I really feel about it. Because the way they can depict things and portray things, and the way ads will target specific people, it's like Facebook and Instagram did a lot for the election, you know, and that sucks. The benefit of media, you know, has been like there's a lot of successful careers that have come out of it, a lot more successful, especially people.
From like YouTube,
and Vine, like you know, DC
Instagram
Young Fly,
now.
like DC Young Fly was in the hood selling crack. And now he's the host of TRL.
That's a come up.
That's
for real.
The realest
like
come
on the
up.
Level of Cardi B's come up.
Cardi B. She was a stripper, a funny ass stripper on Instagram. She was just cute as fuck in her little stripper clothes. And then Love and Hip Hop put her on.
She was real as hell. I remember at first I didn't like her, and I was like, you know what? Maybe if I see her in a different element, I'll like her. And then like she got on Love and Hip Hop, and I actually started to like her.
As hell.
Because initially I was like, man, this bitch ignorant. Why are people like all on her like this? And then like I gave it a chance because there's that little saying, it's harder to hate somebody once you know them. And it's like once I kind of felt like I knew her quote and figured her out, it was a little bit better for me to be like, okay, like I can see where she's coming from. I see why people relate with her. Yes, she is realistic.
Yeah. It's like Cardi B definitely, like, I'm loving her life. Like, and off her.
I'm so happy for her.
I am really happy for her. And usually I'm just like, whatever, but I'm like, damn, I'm happy
like, I don't be really caring about famous people's lives.
Yeah,
but
like, bitch, you came up and you and Offset are cute as shit. Right? Like, I really hope he doesn't cheat or nothing dumb happens because y'all are cute as fuck.
I feel like they have 3 times.
They probably do. They're fucking, she's bi, like, and
like
he's a nigga, so, you know,
it's
like,
realistic. It
like,
can happen.
I mean, they're both cute, so do your thing. Just don't get no STDs. There's a lot of STDs
True.
out there. Like,
protect yourselves, guys. Get tested. It's not a game out here. There's 2 H's that you cannot get rid of: hepatitis C and herpes. But apparently there is a hepatitis C cure, but do not take my word for it.
Don't take that chance.
Yeah, don't take that L, like, because that's forever. Like, your liver does a lot for your body. If you don't know what hepatitis is, so hep means liver. So hepatitis, so inflammation of your liver. So it fucks you up. Like, that basically gets rid of all the toxins in your body next to your kidneys. Like, a lot of people think that their kidneys do everything, but your liver does a large part of it, as well as, like, breaking down carbohydrates, fats, sugars, like, all that stuff. Like, your liver is important. But another good fact about your liver, like, should you ever need a piece of it cut off, the liver can regenerate, unlike other pieces.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think that shit grows back. Damn. I'm pretty positive.
That's cool.
Because that's one fact that I learned. I'm going to fact check myself right now.
Yeah. And it's like, always remember, if we say something that, like, you have an opinion on, or if you disagree,
or you're like, yo, that shit's not true.
Yeah, if you want to fact check us. Ashley and Nina.
Oh, yep, I'm right, guys. Sorry.
Ashley and Nina pod at gmail.com. You know, we would, and we really will, like, read through all of our emails. We will respond. Let's quick shout out to all the people who did our survey, because we really do care about our audience, and we really do want to make sure that we're talking about stuff that you guys want to hear and stuff that you guys want to learn about and stuff that you want to teach us about. So shout out to all of y'all, like, because some of y'all told me, oh, it's done, you know, I did it. I'm like, thank you, because
we
now
got, like, a large response.
Yeah,
and I wasn't expecting people to really do it, because, like, the moment you hear survey, you're like, oh my god, I don't like doing this. But people really showed out, like, and that's what we appreciate.
We really appreciate y'all. Like, this is, I mean, just Black power. Like, you're supporting Black women, and you know, like, unfortunately, we're seen as the most disadvantaged because we're not white and we're not men. But we
have that angry Black woman trope when it's like, no, we're just trying to.
We're busy.
No, it's like, and I'm just trying to make sure I have the same playing field as everybody else.
Exactly.
And it's not that I'm angry. It's like, I'm passionate. I'm advocating for myself.
Yes.
And if it seems to you like I'm angry, maybe I am a little bit, because I've been getting a lot of no's, and I'm gonna get that yes. So it's like, you have to really push for the stuff that you want, and I feel like that's something that you're not allowed to do as a Black woman.
Yeah.
Without being labeled a certain way.
And let's take note that Black women are the most educated group of people in the United States right now. So, Black women, are y'all listening?
Show up and show out.
Smart ass bitches. I see you over there. Smart ass bitch.
Hey man, if you take offense to the word bitch or female, I'm sorry. I say it a lot. I call females because that's what you are. I call my friends bitch. They call me bitch. Like, it's just a part of it. And then if you're one of those Black people that is not like Black people being called nigga, I am sorry. But will I stop saying these things? Probably not.
No. And I don't want to lie to you.
Yeah, like, I'm just going to be realistic and straight up so that you know from the get-go. Like, if that's something that you do not like, you know that you will be exposed to it on this podcast.
A lot, yeah. And bitch is a term of endearment. That's why I'm like, smart ass
like,
bitch. Look at you smart ass bitch. Oh, you know what you should shout out is the hair that you just got, because it's giving lives.
Oh my god! So I got some hair from Exotica Hair, you guys. Everybody thinks it's my hair, and it's not, because like, it's curly clip-ins, and like, this shit matches so well.
Okay.
Like, I'm gonna have pictures up on my Instagram. It's sitting lotus, like, sitting_lotus.
Right.
But it's like the most beautiful natural extensions I've ever gotten in my life. Like, you can't tell where my little bit of leave out ends and these clip-ins begin.
Yeah, like when I walked into her bathroom when she was doing her hair, I said,
my nephew thought I had been wearing these for weeks, and I was like,
that's funny.
No, bro. I was like, I just broke these out of the package.
Put it in.
First time.
I just installed. Like, don't play.
These clips just got clipped, okay?
So,
well, I want to say a disclaimer. Like, this first episode, all our episodes aren't going to be like this, but we did feel like we needed to introduce ourselves, say a little bit about what we were about, and like, it's not like we completely ignored the survey and we're like, yeah, we're not going to talk about anything like you guys wanted to talk about. Like, no, we just need to get you guys exposed to us, understand how we are, and just understand how we think, move, feel, talk, so that you can come into this podcast feeling like you know us and like understanding everything, and then like we're giving you those little, forewarnings in case you do get offended.
Yeah, we don't want to trigger y'all.
Yeah, people get triggered. Yeah, it's gonna happen, and it's not necessarily a bad thing to get triggered. It's just like you need to recognize that you are being triggered and figure out why you feel that way about something, especially if it's like you're triggered because somebody else is successful and you're mad that you're not.
Yes.
Fix yourself.
That's one of the worst triggers to have, is to be jealous, or to feel like to feel like you're disadvantaged because you grew up disadvantaged. It's just not like I really like Charlamagne the God because he's real as fuck. Like, he tells the truth, and that's all I really need. And that's why his book was called Black Privilege: Opportunity Comes to Those Who Create It. And I listened to the book, and it's a really good story. And so, like, Black privilege, we are privileged. Opportunity comes to those who create it. So if you need a job but you've only applied to 20 places,
girl, boy, please apply to like 50.
Like in my whole life I've applied to over 200 jobs.
Yeah, because I would do like 50 a week.
Yeah, we're gonna get I've been working my job for months, and I'm still getting rejection letters from other jobs.
You know how many times UCLA said they was not gonna hire me?
Yeah. It don't matter.
I've had 2 interviews there for 2 separate jobs, got denied both. Have I stopped applying?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, and I got my job. I interviewed at my job, got the job, still took the interview at Cedars-Sinai. I didn't get the job.
Yep.
But
it's opportunity to grow. Exposure.
They
know your name.
And you know what happened is the HR guy emailed me saying, "Hey, do you want to be a lab tech or lab lead supervisor there?" But I didn't have my CLS license. I don't have my CLS
Certified
license.
Laboratory Scientist.
And you make good money doing that. And I was like, "Oh no, I actually have a job as a manager, but can I keep your contact information for when I'm working on my master's right now?" He was like, "Yeah, when you apply, just give me the requisition number or whatever, and I'll send it into the system directly to the person." So look at the connection I made off of a job I didn't get.
Yep.
It's like you have to keep pushing. And I know that everyone has different stories. I know that there's things that do set people back. I completely understand that.
It happens.
And if there's things you want to tell us about that is a true setback, I do want to learn the multiple things that set people back, because from what I've just seen in my own life, one of my friends was set back because financial aid became too much. So they dropped out. I've had friends be set back just because they have too much anxiety. It's mental health.
Yeah,
so their anxiety,
which is very important.
Their anxiety does not allow them to complete a year of school. And it's like, that's where we move into like using mental health things like Talkspace. And these are things we will talk about, like mental health, about even about like sports, even about like finding jobs, about being an adult. I am a finance major, and I am learning about all this stuff. We're gonna talk about 401ks. We're gonna talk about stocks and bonds. We're gonna little tips, nothing too crazy, but it's like we do want to impart whatever knowledge we have. So there are going to be times where we talk about like the body, and since we've both done biochemistry and neuroscience, we do know a little bit more about the body, just like Ashley just said a whole bunch of shit about the liver. It's like we do want to spread that. Please, we love knowledge. So please, if you say, "Oh man, I should tell them about this,"
tell us.
AshleyandNinaPod@gmail.com. Tell us, and we will shout you out, because not only are you telling us and we're learning something, we're shouting it out to other people. So you just taught somebody else. That's community service.
And that can help you get that connection that you need.
It's all about connections. One super cool thing before we start to wrap up our podcast, our first episode.
Because we don't want the first one to be too long. Like, oh, these bitches think they're special. Like, no, we know we're nowhere yet, but we can always build and grow.
And we're taking this very seriously. Like, we've invested a lot of our time, a decent amount of money. Like,
commitment, missing out on things.
Yeah, like, I could have been studying sometimes if we were getting this shit together. There's just things that this is important to us, and we feel like if we had this when we were growing up, we probably wouldn't have went through some of the shit we went through. And that's a strong reason why we want you guys to tell us stuff, because it's you guys that taught me so many things that I know. I didn't learn this stuff on my own. It was y'all, like, for real. It was the community. It was other people that brought me to where I am today. So let's share with each other. Let's benefit each other. Let's help grow each other. Every podcast won't be like this, actually. We are going to have successful people come onto our podcast, and we will be interviewing them. We will be talking about topics just like today, how we talked about, gun violence and President Asshole and stuff like that. It's like, we're going to...
got him President Asshole.
President Orange, like...
Agent
stuff like Agent Orange.
That's from Vietnam. It's like some shit they would spray to like kill the vegetation because it was so dense over there.
Yeah, and then 60 years later, everyone started dying because they had it in there.
Got exposed to it.
You got exposed to it, and they got all those health issues.
It like causes diabetes and like all this other stuff. He has diabetes.
That's why. So. Okay, yeah. Damn. Wow, that's crazy.
At least I know it's not genetic.
It's like also a pre shout out to all the people who have been. We've hit up a lot of people, and we've hit up people. We want successful people, and that doesn't mean that you're big balling.
No,
some of these people are big balling, but not everyone is big balling. But hey, they work a high level job, high level salary. You know, they got to where they wanted to be. They worked on a network that's like, you know, it's super hard to work on a TV show. They've done so much with their social media that they have over 100,000 followers, and that they're actually making money off of their social media. We're gonna have those people there. And even talking about mental health, we will have a social worker talk about that whole system, because that's something that doesn't get talked about in the Black community a lot. So
it's always a parade away.
Yeah, we want you guys to really stay tuned, because our next episodes, we're excited. We're very excited for our next episode, because we're interviewing someone that we pay attention to every single day. And we're very grateful for the people who have already told us, like, definitely. And we hope that they will, you know, impart knowledge on you. Even after the episode, after they leave, hit us up and let us know, because they're listening too. So we might even be able to get a response from them. I'm sure, I'm sure we'll be able to get a response from them.
If you're on here, I'm pretty sure we can ask you.
Yeah, so it's like, we greatly appreciate your listening and
taking the time out to do this.
We're young and motherfucking getting it. You know what I'm saying? We're young. Remember that. We have a lot of years ahead of us. It's time to make that fucking bag. Like, and we ain't gonna sell drugs doing it, man. No. We gonna smoke drugs. You know,
all right, so I wanted to close out our podcast with a few numbers, because Nina and I take mental health very serious, because of course, like, there is this stigma against mental illnesses. Either it's not real, or you're overreacting, or like, I don't know, you just don't have the support that you think you have. So I just want to close out with a few phone numbers, and I'll probably do this every single time.
And we'll put it in the description too.
Yeah, we don't know where you're at in your life, and it's very easy to feel overwhelmed, and it's very easy to feel like, hey, death will be easier than this. And but we don't want that.
Yeah, and like, sorry to interrupt. It's like, some of our star-studded cast that we're going to interview, one of the people that I've been talking to, he has like over 1 million followers, has such a huge following, he posted a video the other day. In 2 days he had 2.2 million views, and just last week was telling me that the whole beginning of the year he was depressed. So it's possible. You look at these people who have all these followers, have all this traveling, this state, they're still lonely. Just another person who's traveling literally every single day, is in a different state, performing, making money, told me that they're lonely, and it would be nice for them to have like someone who's always around, or even like, you know, a girlfriend. Like they're too busy to have a girlfriend, and it's like they're lonely and they want someone that they can say, hey, I just made this big deal and stuff like that. So don't think that just because we're sitting here and we're broke and we're at our parents' house and we're chilling, like, that you're the only person that's depressed. Exactly. This is something that affects a lot of people. So Ashley's going to throw out some numbers out there and things that can help, and we hope that it does help someone. Go ahead.
All right, so I'm going to give out 5 numbers, and they're not in any order of importance. So the first number is the suicide hotline. It's 1-800-273-8255. I'll read it again. 1-800-273-8255. Next one is the addiction hotline. 877-226-3111. 877-226-3111. This is for those people that are on Xans and don't think they're addicted. Because y'all need to stop doing fucking Xannies. That is not something for fun, okay?
And
so
honestly,
please stop. You can die.
Yes, and I've done it not recreationally, because at some point in my life I was not able to sleep, and it's great for people who cannot sleep and
that's why your tolerance goes up so fast.
But Jesus Christ, you will go from 1 pill to 2 pills in a week because the tolerance changes so fast. Yep.
And if you drink alcohol with it, you can slow your heart and your respiration down, and you can die.
You can die.
So please stop.
Please don't.
Same with lean. Please stop.
Marijuana is great, guys. we can fuck with.
But some people do get problems with that too. We're not gonna ignore that.
Okay, we'll definitely talk about that on another episode for sure, because we know the burnouts.
All right, so the next one is eating disorder hotline, which is also important with social media, where you feel your body has to be a certain way because everybody's body's a certain way on plastic there. Surgery, plastic surgery is rampant. That shit's real right now.
It's not a game.
So the number is 844-228-2962. 844-228-2962. The next number is the self-harm hotline. We went to high school with people that used to do this. Definitely. I have family members that do this. I know other people that do this. Yes. And so here is the number, 877-455-0628. 877-455-0628. And the last one, and very important one, I feel like, especially in these trying times, especially for African Americans, is the depression hotline, which is 888-640-5174. 888-640-5174. We will post these down below. Please, if you feel like you need help, get it.
And also, you guys might have heard of Talkspace.com. There are promo codes too, so I'll throw the promo codes down there too if you want to do Talkspace. It's a portable therapy, so you can text your therapist, you can call your therapist.
Can you FaceTime?
You can FaceTime your therapist. You can email your therapist. You do not have to meet your therapist in person, and it's one of the cheapest. You don't have to go to office, and every therapist on there has their own practice. They are already practicing. They have been supervised for thousands of hours. They are real therapists. This is a real thing, and it's much cheaper because we all know that therapy is expensive. If you're not going to a university and don't have the health insurance under the university, which is free most of the time.
If you have shitty insurance like I do with my job.
It's like, so Talkspace.com will actually throw that down there, and I'll throw some promo codes from some of the other cool podcasts that I like to listen to in there. So, oh my God. Oh, let's do a look at God.
We'll read from one of our peoples that wrote in on the survey.
So I'll do mine, and then you read one of theirs, and then you do yours. So we have a segment. Basically, we're gonna call it "Look at God." So, life is hard, period. But just taking out the things out of life that are actually like really good, and really paying attention to the benefits that are happening to you. That's that
blessing. Could be look at God. Like, you don't actually have to believe in God for this segment. Right. It's like, what did the universe did for you if you're one of those individuals? Because we understand that people come from different walks of life, and like not everybody believes in God, which is understandable. And I guess
as long as you're a good person, that's all that really matters. To people. I have a feeling that some people who don't believe in God, who are good people, are still gonna end up in heaven. So it's like, we just want. Let's just be good to each other. We're all going through stuff. We know we're all going through stuff. So let's just be good to each other.
This one's so cute.
Okay. Do you want to do that one first?
This one's really cute, guys. So LV 14 Degrees said, blessed me with a beautiful wife in my mid-20s that surpasses all my expectations.
That's super cute.
That's really fucking cute.
That's super fucking cute.
I know who that is. That's fucking cute. That's
cute. So say the social media name again.
LV 14 Degrees.
Check him out. Check him out.
That's cute as hell. Check out him and his wife. Him and his beautiful wife.
Oh, how cute.
Y'all gonna make me cry.
My look at God is gonna be, right now while we're taping, I'm on a small break from school, and it's like I've been studying so hard that I literally almost passed out a couple days. While I was taking the test, I felt like I was going to pass out. So it's like, I can see straight and I can breathe. And I'm not studying right now.
My body's not hurting
like,
from being tired.
We have the time to do this, and we're so happy we have the time to do this. And what's happening right now is a look at God moment for me, because it took a lot of preparation, a lot of research, and we're taking
of trial and error.
We're taking this very seriously, and we're not going nowhere. No. We're going to be here every week. We're going to be here, and we're going to bring people to you that might impact you, and we're going to share their social media with you guys too, so you guys can follow them.
With them. And say like, hey, we heard you on the Young and Gettin It podcast. I really fuck with you. Can we continue this conversation or something of that sort? Reach out to people, connect. All black people look out for each other. All black people support each other.
And just that's the community in general. Even millennials, if you guys aren't black, we're not saying that you guys are not.
You're welcome to.
If you have a heart, you're part of the community.
No fuck shit.
If you're about fuck shit, I'm not really sure if I fuck with you like that. You know what I'm saying? But that's totally my look at God. Like, this is great. I'm in a good mood right now.
And today is like the first successful taping that we've had. Like, we
had to
spent money on other mics. We bought 4 of them just to find out that we can't use them. So then today we went to Sam Ash Music like we should have done before.
Yes.
But bitches are busy and online shopping is easier.
Yes.
So Amazon. We went into the store and we talked to them and we asked all the questions we needed, and this is how we are successfully producing this podcast right now.
And this was expensive. So
it was expensive as fuck.
So
I almost cried when I swiped my card.
So he said the price. I said, oh.
I was like,
okay, all right. But honestly, that's a look at God in itself, because we would not be able to do this a year ago.
No.
Because we were just starting our careers. The fact that God put us in a place to where financially we can handle this, and we're not going to be like, oh, I can't pay for this. No, we're fine. We're actually totally fine.
Yeah, like, we're cool.
And that's a blessing. We were not like this a year ago.
And so that's another thing for those people out there depressed. Remember, in a year, the places you can
shit
go
changes in a year.
And it be feeling like it's not, but trust and believe that it's going to change. Especially if you're doing what you're supposed to do.
Yes.
Like, and that's sometimes the hardest part, is doing what you're supposed to do. But as long as you do that, that shit will work out.
Yep.
Trust. Because there have times when I'm like, yeah, nah, this shit's never going to work. Yep. I'm never going to feel better. I'm never going to be out this situation. And then it's like a few months later, it's like, wait, why the fuck I feel like this? Wait, I feel good. Okay.
And you look back and you're like, so I was crying
about that. I'm like, why?
And that's honestly, that's when that started happening to me. That's what made me stop stressing so much, because I'm like, bitch, you cried about this, and a year later you were like, I'm straight.
Yep. And that's kind of the reason we came up with the Look at God segment, because we're like, okay, even though your day was shitty, what can you pull from it that was good? So it's like a look at God moment, like. And it's just like, oh, okay, what is positive about this moment? Yeah. Like, how did this moment get enhanced? What did this lesson teach me? Even though it was real fucked up, what good came from it?
Positivity comes from seeing the good in things, but also experiencing the negatives and handling it and dealing with it.
And making that shit a positive.
Making something good come from it. So that's what our impact is. But we're going to wrap it up. We thank you guys so much for listening to episode number 1.
If you don't like my voice, tell me so that I could just agree with you.
Yeah, because I'll just talk different, and then we can just,
I'll put on that, like, sweet little girl voice.
My little
no,
Malibu,
not really.
Malibu black girl that's just grew up around everybody, and we're just,
Just dripping with privilege.
It just is
dripping with privilege.
Dripping with privilege.
Voice dripping with privilege.
That's funny. But thank you guys so much. You can follow me on Instagram. It's xninacx. So XNINACX. And you can also, like we said, email us at ashleyandninapod@gmail.com. I'll spell it out because we didn't spell out this whole podcast.
And I'll also link my Instagram, Tumblr, maybe my Snapchat. I'm not sure, because some of y'all motherfuckers is weird. So I'll link all those as well, so that you can have access to that. And we will have social media platforms for our podcast as well.
And we'll make sure to link that at the bottom too. So please follow us, hit us up. We will respond to you. We want to talk to you. We love the community. We love what you guys have done for us.
Discussions.
And we love y'all.
Love disagreeing.
Yes. So discussions,
let us know.
So oh my God.
All right. Episode 1 is a success.
All right, y'all.
We're ecstatic as fuck.
All right, y'all. This is history in the making, y'all. We're not gonna be the only ones that make it, y'all. No. Y'all about to make it, because
gonna make it.
Y'all are young and getting it. We are young and getting it.
And getting it.
All right, y'all. Talk to you soon.